Good morning, friends. How many of you have felt the need to know how to calculate for the next year, your budget for the next year? How many of you have felt the need to calculate school fee so that you don't have a problem in paying it in the coming year? How many of you know how to calculate your yearly LIC premium and how do you pay it? How many of you have also looked for ways in which you can better your passive income? Yes, friends, there is a method. For example, if you're calculating your school fee, let's say the school fee is 80,000, you have to multiply it by 3 times over, and then that will be the expenses for the school for that year. It is one child. If you have two children, you have to calculate both theirs, and that will be the expenses for the school education for that year. And your overall need for that year will also be calculated in the same manner. Your monthly budget, your everything put together will come in that calculation where you have multiplied it by 3. And then how do you save the amount? When you get a salary, you have to put aside 10 to 20% of your savings. How do you do that? Now, this calculation, what 80,000 multiplied by 3, and the total that you get, you will again divide it into 15 months, 12 months, and then what you get as an answer, you will take a whole number and you will start depositing it in a recurring deposit for the next year. That will make it easy for you to pay your LIC. That will make it easy for you to pay your school fees. It will also be easy to help you build a disciplined financial planning and awareness that you have to put away something. Everything can't go into the expenses category. Whatever is miscellaneous, yes, sometimes we do have miscellaneous expenses. For that too, you can decide in what ways to save. For example, you are buying from outside. If you can cook it at home and you can save that amount, if you are spending on a cook on a regular basis, what if you learn cooking and outsmart the cook and save that amount? What if you're doing the cooking by yourself and yet you don't pay yourself? Why not? Reward yourself for that. If you're cooking on your own, reward yourself. Save that amount. And that is how you build your financial progress and how you build your savings. It is what you accumulate over time that actually gives you the best result. You can then decide when it comes to a lump sum where to invest the money in. Yes, most of them how make the mistake of calculating the fees very wrongly. Let's say, as I quoted earlier, it is 80,000. If we say 80,000, you have to multiply 3 times over and then divide it into 12 months and then see how much you need to put away each month. Then again, goes to your books, same goes to your book fees, so same goes to the uniform, same goes to the whatever you need to pay LIC. If you need to spend on maintenance, if you need to spend on maintenance, how you can calculate it the same way. You know what you need yearly, how many bulbs you need to change per year, which actually you can, even if you maintain a diary, you can easily know which month your bulbs have to be changed, and how once that all the bulbs that you need to change will may come simultaneously in one month. You can even calculate How what is your expense per year? Suppose you're using the gas cylinder. How much is it coming per year? Total number of gas cylinders that you use, and then calculate where in that you can save, how to use the gas, how to save on a gas cylinder. For example, if you have the AMC vessels, cookware vessels, how you can save using your gas with that. Because once you have uh, come to the maximum using the means on you have cooked your thing three-fourths, then you can off the gas and it'll cook on its own because the battery will do the rest for you. It is also that if you have something, you look for ways when it comes to electricity and how we can save on electricity. Yes. Plug in all the leakages. See where there is a leakage, where there's overview, where you're not switching off your switches on time. All this will go to make not only create greater greener effect environment, but also saves you a lot on your pocket. If you are, and even vehicles, even when it comes to vehicle maintenance, vehicle insurance, the calculation has to be the same so that you are ready with whatever you want to um, uh, continuing with the vehicle insurance and maintenance too. How much you will need, how much you have spent the previous year for your service. Calculate and divide it, multiply it three times over, and then decide how much you need to save for your next service or maintenance that you give. That's how you will not feel the burden on yourself. If in one shot you're going to just delete or remove the money, debit your money from your account and then pay, you're going to find the pinch even more stronger when you do it that way. But if you have an accounts book where you record down everything, most of them have the habit of just paying the insurance, paying the maintenance, paying the service of the vehicle, and not looking at it till the next year. That is not financial awareness and planning. You need to work at it at a constant, you need to study it, you need to work at it, you need to at least look. The more it is in front of you, you'll know how to calculate and why numbers help in being aware of what you need. Sometimes people overspend without even looking at what they need next. This will not help. When it comes to financial awareness and planning, you need to work at it constant and you need to look at what you need, how much you can save. Now, with the pandemic, the people have brought in houses with EMI, a lot of things with EMI, and then they realize they cannot pay because their salaries have been cut down by half, three-fourths, and much more for some. And with such a situation, you need to look at what you have saved and what is your reserve. That is why it is important when you get your salary to put away 10 to 20% of your salary aside. Invest it, save it, have your different accounts where you can put it into, and that comes in handy. What is known as an emergency fund. No, you cannot borrow in times when everyone is feeling the hardship, everyone is feeling the salary cutouts, and everyone is feeling the stress of suddenly being in a totally different situation. We have to adjust, we have to know where we stand. For that, we constantly have to work at our own awareness, our own planning, and we have to be a little more organized. Yes, friends, that is the need of the hour and much more. If I would like to tell you how I started my first as the account in a post office, we can start in the rupees 20. What more do you need? Students can operate their own accounts, and I started at standard 4, and by the time I was in standard 10, I had a lump sum of 10,000. Was every Saturday I made it a point to go and deposit whatever I had. It may look so small, it may look so tiny. I never spent it on chocolates and eats and snacks and things like that. I never had that habit, nor did I have the curving for it. I saved that amount. And when in standard 10, my father needed the money, I said, okay, it had to be closed. There was a need. I never questioned why there was a need. It, 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 it had to be given, and I got back whatever I needed. Because I never questioned, I never expected anything when I gave anyone anything. Or when you do that, you're questioning, you're trying to put yourself into a complex where you're not serving, you're just trying to say, you're at a higher battle. But I never do that because all are equal before, and all I have an equal uh, s- stand when it comes to giving people what we have to give. So let us look at rupees 20 story. Uh, Someone who wanted to travel by bus had 20 rupees but spent 1 rupee on a chocolate. And how do they go back home? There are two ways of looking at it. Either you get the 1 rupee from somebody, you borrow it and travel, or you walk to the next bus stop and you travel. So, which is more valuable now, rupees 90 or rupees 1? Rupees 1 is more powerful. So, don't underestimate what you may get, whether it's little or more. All that is a part of the power that it has. Maybe small, but the power is more. So, all you have to do is don't look at anything that you can change your mindset from looking at things as small and big. Consider it as equal and neutral, and you will have a smooth journey. Financial awareness helps you to learn a lot. It also helps you to be aware, and you have to constantly keep upgrading yourselves what you need. Yes. And one thing we need to learn is whether you build a house, whether you get married, whether you need to prepare for your retirement planning. And how do you do that? Not by saving, but by giving. The more you give, the more you get back. Whether in service, you don't have anything to give, it need not necessarily be cash. Can give it any kind too. You have to serve. The purpose of serving is serve, whether you call it charity, whether you call it zakat, whether you call it sadaqah, it's one and the same. You're serving God's purpose and God's commands, and the rest will follow automatically. Thank you.